How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Monster Mash. And, okay, so this video is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say esoteric, but like, I've had this idea in my head for a little bit now, and I just kind of want to get this out just to see if anyone else can agree with this or disagree with the sentiment that I have. You know, like, I want to know if I'm like off base or on base or whatever. One of the problems that I see today with quote unquote modern internet that maybe I never saw growing up, maybe has always been there, but it's like gotten pretty exacerbated nowadays. It's that people are, at least to me, they seem to be I'm including myself in this, by the way. I also have this mindset. People's minds seem to be poisoned by the idea of success. And when I say the idea of success, I'm talking about the idea of there's a world out there where you can make a bunch of money doing nothing. And a lot of the problems I have with this mindset are not that you're making a bunch of money. I'm all for people making a bunch of money if they work hard at it, but the problem is that no one wants to work hard to do that. You know, there's all these, especially with the rise of AI generation stuff. I might have talked about this in the video I uploaded a little bit ago that was like, I'm tired of technology. But AI generation stuff has absolutely exacerbated this issue where it's not about actually making things. It's not about learning a skill. It's not about bettering yourself as a human being. It's about making money, right? And I don't want to harp too much on the AI stuff. I'm sure my opinion is already well documented. I don't like it. If you were concerned about my stance on AI, I don't like it. I think it's interesting as a concept, but it's not going to replace humans. It's not going to replace the work that we do. But this idea of success that people have been conditioned to want all the time, it's definitely affected me, you know? Like, I am gonna be 27 soon, like, in a couple months, and I feel like I'm not worthy of a human being. I'm not worthy to be alive because I haven't found my success story. And it's, you know, maybe this is only me that worries about this, right? But as someone who has failed every single time trying to find their path in life and find things that, you know, make them satisfied, but also give them a stable living. And that's more of a problem with society rather than a problem with my own mental state. Well, a little bit of both. You know, it like, if we're going to dig down a little bit deeper, it's like society does have these expectations on people where it's like you have to be successful at something, no matter your own personal or mental or emotional downfall. As long as you're successful, that's all that fucking matters. And I know that paradigm isn't always, you know, prevalent nowadays, but it certainly feels like it now. It's hard to escape this idea of success where I'm thinking like, oh, you know, the part of my brain that tries to take care of myself, I'm trying to make that part of my brain louder, but it has been very quiet for a very long time, so it's hard to relearn this stuff. The part of my brain that wants me to take care of myself is telling me that no, success is not just monetary gain, is not just, you know, buying things and owning a house and owning things. You know, your self-worth is not tied to how much money you have in your bank account, right? And I know this, right? I know that my own growth as a human being in terms of the work that I make, not the work, but like the videos that I make, the things I teach myself, the things I teach other people, the way I impact those around me, that's really what, you know, that's really what success is, you know? But you see so many different gurus online. You see all these different types of shortcuts people take because they want to be quote-unquote successful. You know, they want to just make money. They only value the end product. And you see this with a lot of normal people. I say normal people as people who are not in creative spaces like me. You know, creative people, I feel like there's a common understanding where, like, we all understand what success is. We all understand, or at least, you know, most of us do. But normal people don't see it that way. I hate using the term normal people in this situation, but it's the only term I have. Normal people just sort of value the end product, you know, because they don't see the creative process. They don't see the trials and tribulations you went through to make the thing you made. They don't see all the things you learned. They don't see your personal growth. And so before I started making videos, you know, all I saw was the end product. So I'm like, oh, you have to make something good. Like, even now to this day, I struggle with I have to make something good. I have to, like, no matter what I do, I have to make a good thing that people are going to want to watch. And to some extent, that's kind of true, but on the other hand, it's like, it shouldn't weigh me down the way it does. And it's, I don't really know where I'm going with this video, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this idea that I had, where it's like, are things gonna get better? You know, that's the question that I have, where I want to believe that more people will start understanding that success does not come from how much money you make. Like, those things are intrinsically tied in society right now. And, you know, maybe that was fabricated. Like, if we're gonna go like deep conspiracy level, maybe this idea of success being tied to how much money you make is like fabricated by those who have a bunch of money so that they can be more, you know, valuable in the public eye, in the public space, more than they already are, because, oh, they got a bunch of money and they own a bunch of things. Like, that means they're good people, and that means they worked hard, and that means they do all this stuff that is really human, when really they were just born into an emerald mine that their family owned and acquired because of fucking apartheid. Like, you know, obviously success does not equate, like, is not one-to-one with how much money you make, obviously, but it's like, I'm just kind of reminding myself about that this entire video so I don't fucking fall into the depths again. But it's just so intrinsically tied that, like, everyone around me, whenever I talk about YouTube stuff, right, with normal people, with people who are not doing creative things, and I'm not gonna pretend that what I'm doing here is high art or is like gonna change the world or anything. It might be valuable to a couple of people here and there. It might be valuable to myself to just get the ideas out of my own head, but that concept never really applies to regular people. Whenever they talk to me, it's like, oh yeah, you gotta get even YouTube itself, dude, is like this, because they have a monetary incentive to promote this way of thinking. But it's like, yeah, you got to get your numbers up, you got to get your SEO, your search engine optimization, you got to use buzzwords, you got to use, you got to be doing things that people are interested in. Dude, the amount of times my friends in my life have told me, you know, why are you playing this game no one cares about? You should be playing the game that just came out that everyone is into. And my argument against that has always been, well, dude, like, everybody's going to be playing that game. You know, if I play the game that everyone else plays, regardless if I'm interested in it or not, I'm just going to get buried underneath a ton of search results of people playing the exact same game. And if people are going to watch the game that it just came out, they're not going to go out and watch a random Joe Schmo play it. They're going to watch the streamer they already watch. You know, if me and, like, fucking Project Melody or Asmongold or, like, who else is playing Dragon's Dogma 2? I'm just using this as an example. I know that game isn't exactly fresh anymore, but bear with me. If all three of us are playing Dragon's Dogma 2 right now, who are people going to watch? You know, if you're the kind of person who already watches Asmongold or Project Melody or whoever, you're going to just go watch them. You're not going to watch me because I don't have an established fan base. So if I latch on, like, my strategy was, if I latch on to a game or a series or a concept that is relatively niche, you know, hopefully people will find me in this niche category just to sort of be like, oh, here's a new person talking about this thing I already like. Maybe they like it the same way I do, or maybe they can get a fresh perspective or whatever. Maybe people are just like, ooh, new Monster Hunter video. Fuck yeah. And that's sort of what I do with this, you know? I know that my videos are not search engine optimized, and they're not optimized to be found by the algorithm or anything like that, and that's by design, honestly. You know, I don't like the loud, flashy, like, in-your-face, like, oh my god, I just sawed this boat in half, or whatever. Like, my videos are these videos on this channel especially are very, like, low not quality, but they're just like low energy. And that's kind of what I want. In a sea of people who are all vying for your attention and are all fighting each other and yourself and themselves in certain ways, it's almost therapeutic in a way to stumble upon videos that just give you time to think and just give you time to reflect on things. And that's what the Monster Mash is. You know, that's I'm doing this for myself just to get my ideas out on a page and just to sort of like, because like I've tried therapy before and it worked to some extent, but realistically I probably just didn't find the right therapist. But if I'm just sitting here and I'm just talking about stuff, the idea is now out of my head and I can stop thinking about it. You know, I stop thinking about these Monster Mash videos like 20 minutes after I've done making them. And it doesn't take me long to make them, right? That's kind of, it's again, by design. It doesn't take me long to just sit down and find Monster Hunter footage that I've recorded, sometimes reusing footage here and there, but you know, that's whatever. It's not about the footage itself. It's about just me sitting here talking about shit and, you know, the comment section is there. I know people don't use the comment section because it's a fucking cesspool most of the time, but, you know, I'm thankfully in a position where I'm small enough to where my comment section is not a toxic cesspool. So, at least for the time being, the comment section is a place for if you resonated with this video in some way, or you know, have some sort of connection with this video in some weird way. I don't know. I'm not you. I don't know what you're thinking. You can go into the comment section and you can say like, hey, you know, I agree with this, I disagree with this, I have this opinion I want to share. Like, I am of the opinion that when you get too large, you become unable to respond to all the people that are interacting with you. Dude, there's less than 300 subs on this channel. Less than 100 people are going to watch this video, right? So if you, for whatever reason, have a connection in some way, go ahead and leave a comment. I will read them. I know YouTubers don't do that, but I will read them. And also, on the screen right now, MonsterMashMailbox@gmail.com. Like, I want to do more inbox stuff, because it's no secret, but this channel is based on the Weekly Slap by Jay Schlatt. It's the inspiration for why this channel exists. So I want to be the Weekly Slap for Monster Hunter people, you know, because I recognize not everyone is into Call of Duty videos. I never watched the Call of Duty videos that Schlatt watched, so I don't have that deep personal connection. I just like Jay Schlatt, and I like the way he says things, and I like his opinions on shit, you know? And, you know, I want to provide the same thing for the Monster Hunter community. So, you know, do that, I guess. Have a good one, everybody.